Hi everyone, thank you so much for all the messages from in my last video that we made when we just arrived here. So it was really nice to communicate and get all the welcomes. It was really nice, so thank you so much. I've been multitasking and doing too many projects, trying to get ahead. So what I did, I just wanted to tell you that I started from in my woodland area. So basically this part here plus this bed and here, it's all taken care of. I got all the weeds out, etc. But many of you probably remember from my last video that my marguerite daisies died last winter, so they didn't make it, and I believe they're borderline, so they're not really perennial here. Sometimes when we have a warm winter they last, and then if we have a frost or something then they just don't. So but I really like them in this spot, and I found these gorgeous white ones this year in the store, so I went ahead and got them. So I'm going to plant, and I really like seeing them each side of this seed. So I have one right here that I already planted today, so I'm going to plant this one on this side. And then what I'm going to do is plant some peonies today, because there are a few variety of peonies that I had in Colorado while I used to garden there in my garden, and they are really nice, beautiful peonies. So I thought I could share that with you. If you can, maybe some of you already have them. If you don't, you can try to look into it. They're really beautiful. So 3 varieties. So one is morning lilac, and they are all 3 of them peonies. They are intersectional peonies. And so one variety is morning lilac. The other one is Bartzella. Bartzella has a beautiful creamy yellow flowers, and they have a huge, they come up with a huge bouquet, large flowers, just really, really beautiful. And we'll pop the picture for you so you can see every single one that I'm talking about. So morning lilac has a beautiful kind of purplish color, purplish pink color, very similar to First Arrival, which I also have in my garden. And then the 3rd variety is called Copper Kettle, and Copper Kettle is very special and it's quite expensive. It's award winner kind of a peony, and I think that it can cost quite a bit, but it is really worthwhile having. So it has it's basically copper. The name already gives out the color. So it's a copper color, kind of orangey, but it's really, really beautiful peony. So anyway, I have those 3 varieties that I'm going to plant today, and I also wanted to. I always talk about the intersectional peonies and herbaceous peonies and tree peonies. So today I just wanted to show you, because like for example, so you guys can see the difference, and maybe many of you are familiar with them, but maybe some of you are not. So I wanted to show you. So this one is an intersectional peony. This particular one called Canary Brilliance. It has a kind of a creamy orangey kind of color to it, color tones. And so, but you can see the blooms are really different than the herbaceous peony. If you notice, they're kind of pointy on the end, and they kind of look like a little hazelnut kind of shapes. You can see the difference on their leaves as well. They kind of come with the bunches. It's a little different. And also, most importantly, on the bottom, you can see they're kind of woody. So those are the ones that you normally don't trim. Like, for example, this one could have been trimmed. But you have to wait in the spring and see what needs to be trimmed, but you don't trim them completely to the ground like you would do normally for a herbaceous peony. So, and for herbaceous peony, you can see the blooms are like, this one is herbaceous peony, and you can see the blooms are so different. They are basically nice and round, and you can see there is no wooden part. So the herbaceous peony, it can be trimmed completely to the ground, and you can see the leaves are, much different, a lot narrower versus the Ito peonies. They are much different looking. It's almost they're crossed between the tree peony and herbaceous peony. But these plants are incredible because they have larger blooms. They come with many different colors and varieties, and also they can be very hardy. So if, for example, anyone who is living or gardening in a cold climate like zone 3, zone 4, even for zone 5, you can have this peony because they are really cold hardy. You can treat them just like a herbaceous peony. They can survive in a cold climate. They're excellent plants. They don't need a lot of maintenance. The only thing is just remember not to trim them completely to the ground. But you can enjoy these beautiful peonies. For example, tree peonies, on the other hand, they like warmer climates, so they will not survive in a cold climate. So this is a great variety to have. Excuse me. And I wanted to show you this one because last time when it was so cold and windy and rainy, it was really hard to see these plants, but I have been so pleased with this tree peony variety. It's just hard to believe that anything like this can even happen. It's so beautiful. Like, I have been really enjoying this bicolor red and white. It's unbelievable. It bloomed the first time for me. I had them for about 4 years, and it's blooming this is his first year of blooms. I am totally enjoying it. So anyway, let's go this way, and I can show you what I've done today, because so as you can see, I've cleaned up all of this area, basically the entire thing, completely no weeds. And then I'm continuing right there. I started digging. This is now my new project right over there. So what I had is herbaceous peony. So I ordered each of peonies a while back, and so it was mislabeled, and I received herbaceous peonies. So I had one here and one here. What I did today, I went ahead and removed those herbaceous peonies and moved them right here. You can see there is one here and then one here. So they're surprised. I really don't know what the flowers will look like. I'm sure they will be beautiful, whatever it is. We'll see. It's going to be a surprise. But here I'm going to plant Bartzella peony. So I'm going to plant one here and then one right here. I already planted. So this is Bartzella. This is a intersectional peony, and it's I'm really excited about it. So one here and then one here. So what I'm going to do, grab my gloves really quick and be right back. So right here I have my peonies planted already because they arrived. I wasn't ready to plant them in my landscape yet. So, but I had a treated soil here in which I went ahead and planted really quickly because I didn't want them to wait any longer to be planted. And now I'm ready for them to transplant. However, 2 copper kettle peonies I am not going to plant today because my plan is to plant one right here and one right here, somewhere right here. So my design is not complete yet. It's still kind of a rough outline. I'm still kind of working on it, but I started digging already with my little shovel. So I hope I have other plans for here, and we'll see where I get with that project. But for today, I'm going to plant, this one is a Bartzella. So what I would like to do is at least get this one into its own permanent spot. Look how beautiful this plant is. This is a very special plant, and you can see the wooden part because this is where it's attached, and this is how its stems are actually going to be. So this is the part that you don't trim to the ground, okay? So one I'm going to plant right here. Okay, and for warmer zones, planting peonies, I would suggest not to plant too deep because they just simply will not bloom. For the warm zone, in the warm zones, you need to plant them a little shallower, so not too deep. Herbaceous peonies and intersectional peonies, they just don't need to be planted very deep in the warm zones. In the colder zones, they can handle it, but not in the warm zones. So now I'm going to plant my morning lilac peony. So after we plant them, they need to be soaked really well, which I will do in a moment. But at this point, I'm going to plant my marguerite daisies. Okay, so it's all into the ground. I will go ahead and water them really well. And I really like marguerite daisies because you can just trim all the flowers and they rebloom. They bloom all summer long. And also, you know, in the fall it was really beautiful, the previous ones, because I trimmed all the flowers and the foliage stayed nice and green. It almost looked like a boxwood. It just keeps it compact and it's beautiful. So I hope this one will survive. We'll see. But I'll go ahead and soak them with the, let me see if I have, yeah. After I soak them, I have a little bit of a tomato feed, liquid tomato feed in here, which I'm going to water with this a little bit, because this right away will give a nice quick boost of blooms, which that's what I'm looking for. And the same I did with the other one. So we'll just soak my other peony that I just planted. Okay, so this is all for the peonies, but just before I let you guys go, I wanted to show you this one area that I finished cleaning all the weeds. Last time when we went through it, there was so many weeds, it was all jumbled up together. You couldn't even tell what was happening. But when I cleared it out, I realized that last fall, when I designed my tulips and pansies, now they look so beautiful the way it was designed. It really is just such a joy to look at what happened and how I put it all together. So I wanted to share that with you. So let's go to the other area where I can show you all the tulips. This is what I wanted to show you. I know maybe, you know, it's not a big deal, but for me, I just really enjoy it. I put together, I planted pansies and few tulips, which I'm really excited. All these double tulips are still coming up. It's beautiful, and of course, you know, you guys saw how dry this area was in my last video. I'm still trying to hydrate all my plants and the ground. So as everything takes off, pansies will start filling in and it will look even more beautiful. But you can see when I started watering, suddenly all the daffodils starting to pop up, more tulips are starting to pop up, the pansies are starting to do well. But what I did, I grouped them. You can see this beautiful daffodil that it's blooming, kind of has a peachy double centers, and everything else just kind of starting to come together. And right here you can see all the Herbaceous are starting to take off, and it's just really pretty. I think what I'm going to do is repeat this idea with annuals for the summer because I'm enjoying it so much. So obviously these guys will be gone. I'll remove the pansies and probably just plant like a summer annuals to kind of group them together with a little higher centers and the lower all around it. So anyway, look how beautiful this is. I really like it, how it all turned out. And these double tulips, I'm really excited because they're just gorgeous. And they're all coming up, and daffodil is coming out. There's more Herbaceous that are coming out. Anyway, I really enjoyed how I did this the last fall, and I forgot about it. but since I cleared out all the weeds, now they really pop and it's beautiful. Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's spring, lots of work to be done in the garden. I have lots of stuff to take down to the compost. Hopefully I'll do a video because I know some of our viewers asked to see where the compost is and how I compost, so I will go ahead and get that done as well. But you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you in my next video. If you like my videos, please don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day. Bye bye.